Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Late for work, but I don't drink whiskey. I don't
Brian
know how
Trust.
it feels.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming on the show today after all the stress that you've been dealing with the last couple of weeks. And, you know, it's obviously not the most exciting thing to talk about because, you know, but it's good to raise awareness and discuss this because you had this special hearing on Monday, which was about taking away your late night liquor license, which runs 1 to 3 a.m. And when you were on the show last time, you were saying, Brian, that it's got to be fair for everybody. If you're going to do it to one, do it to all, not just
In my
single out.
opinion,
Yeah,
I want to use my words carefully. In my opinion, yes, I agree with that statement.
Yeah, and so I just wanted to make sure, just to recap for the audience on where we're at. We told people Monday, but there was so much that you were getting and so much attention that we needed to talk about it a little bit sooner. So, you know, just take me through it right now. How did the hearing go for you? What was it like?
Well, first of all, I want to thank the lady. I don't know if she's the city attorney or not, but listen, I got this grin because if y'all know me, Dorky Dad on TikTok, if you really want to get to know me, if I'm not sure what's going on, I go into this character, which is known as Dorky Dad. But what I want to thank her is no one told me how the process. I mean, I got familiar with city council, so I know how that process works. But when I went to this hearing, man, I'm naive. I don't know, like, I was in a courtroom, you know? and the reality is this. I want to thank her because when I did things that I wasn't supposed to do, now I'm not saying bad things.
Yeah.
Like, let's say I wanted to talk to you. I'm not allowed to talk to
Right.
you. It's really just me and the liquor commissioner. So I would go into my goofy character, and I know whether she watches this or not, I just want you to know she smiled. So she smiled with grace, like, you know, instead of it just being this strict, stern thing, because anybody else in my shoes would have felt uncomfortable because it was very direct.
Yeah.
But because my Dorky Dad character came out, it was nice to see that she smiled instead of like, who is this? Well, she probably said that anyway, but no matter, you know, like, who is this guy? But listen, it's tough. And here, even though I'm speaking right now, I know I'm kind of taking over because I just want to do some clarity.
Yeah.
Okay. I created a page after. It's called Stand Up Alton. Okay. And I want to make this clear. By the way, I'm starting to enjoy creative writing. I can't take all the credit, Chat GPT, whatever you call it.
Amen.
But you get to put your thought process into it, okay?
Yeah.
So I created this page more like for a journey for myself to go through it. It's like this. Am I allowed to talk to like the mayor and the people? Okay,
yeah.
So it's like this. Mayor, when I talk to you, I'm going to say it on the air. I love you because we have the same father. It's not about black and white. I love God, and I know he's a godly man. And I got to throw another shout out. Steve Harvey. I love Steve Harvey. And Steve Harvey,
Oh, yeah.
he reminds me, first of all, I give praise to my God, right? But like I have so many emotions flaring, and I just kind of want to be like a regular person, say, you did this and you did that. And I want to be the better person because at the end of the day, this is an honor and a privilege to be able to speak on this platform. And not just the mayor, but I want to address the people.
Yeah.
I want to address the police. We could do better. And that's all Stand Up Alton's about, okay? And I know I'm rambling,
No,
and
you're fine.
it's just fresh on my mind.
No, talk.
So it started out, yes, and I still feel that it's a personal attack or I'm being targeted, okay? That can come down the pipeline because today I'd like to use this airtime as we could do better. And here's what I mean. I'm going to call it a movement. Stand Up Alton is no longer about my bar, okay? We're going to find out today, tomorrow, if we could even be open. But Stand Up Alton is more than just a bar because at the end of the day, and I even said it at the thing, you guys already know if you're taking it or not. This is just a formality to hold that, you know, okay? And again, that's in my opinion. But only because it's fresh on my mind, can I ramble real fast? Chief Ford, thank you. Because I couldn't imagine the pressure that you're under when I make the comments that you work for the mayor. I've said it before, I'll say it again. My parents are retired cops. I respect the blue. It's so easy for us people. As a matter of fact, let me address that. When I say us people, if you're on my page and you're commenting this, that, we can do better. And let me just tell you what I mean by we could do better. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the love and support of everybody reaching out, whether it's in person, whether it's in comments, whatever it may be. But here's what I mean by we could do better. Learn the resources that are available to you.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not saying you could walk on the Daily Show and do what I'm doing right now, but here's what you can do. It is a privilege. It is an opportunity that they have city council meetings. And do you know that if you sign up, you're granted 5 minutes to speak?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're in the comments, a lot of people say, well, what would you do about it? I don't want you to be a keyboard warrior. This isn't about me. This is about standing up and speaking up. So I'm encouraging all the people, if you have something to say, you have the ability to say it at city council. You're granted 5 minutes. Now, I do want to harp on something. The only thing I ask city council now, be respectful. Put your phones down.
Yeah.
Hear the people.
Yeah.
When you guys wanted to get voted, you had a mission. You had a visionary. And this is a little bit where I get frustrated, okay? I'm not in your shoes. I couldn't imagine that. But as a business owner, I'm in your shoes. And let me explain why. If you decide to open something up, or you decide to take, in this analogy, city official, right? There's fear. There's fear. Am I going to do a good enough job? Am I going to do this?
Yeah.
But the reality is this, and I praise to anybody, make your vision so high that it overcomes the fear.
Yeah.
But when you get elected, be accountable for taking an oath. Be accountable for wanting that vision. And remember, before you had a title, you were common folk people like us too. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say it on the air. By the way, when I say it, these do not reflect, what's the thing you say? These do not reflect
the opinions and the voices of RiverBender.com,
Yes,
its host, or any of its
Stop.
stuff.
It's not black and white. It's not black and white. It's we the people. I'm so glad you because listen, RiverBender, when they ask me to come on or I ask to come on, I don't tell them what I'm coming on for. So you guys take a big risk to speak. But this is what I'm talking about, folks. Be a voice. And I thank God for anointing my mind, anointing my lips, because my emotions want to say one thing, but because God works. Man, listen, folks, you get to know me. That's how I'm all over the place. Can I tell you something I heard today?
Yeah.
Do you know the difference between justice and grace?
No.
Justice is what you get when you deserve. Grace is justice even if you don't deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, let's put God back in our life, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, and honestly, Brian, I mean, and I get, we're here now, and it's all you can do is wait and see. And if you lose the 1-3, it's just the way it goes. But the problem is, I mean, you're presenting at council and you hit on something. The phones need to go away. Okay, you're representing the people that are paying your salary through their taxes, and this isn't about one alderman doing it or alder person. It happens all the time, and we can see it because you're on video. And these are your constituents, and not only constituents, but investors into your community. And what you're doing when you put the phone up and you're like, it's not my ward. I don't have to worry about this today. I'll just go check my text. It's a complete slap in the face to anybody that's a part of that diplomatic process at City Council in that moment. But another thing, Brian, that I think that people have been harping on since you had your hearing is you guys hit it on the head. These problems were before Poor Decisions was ever in downtown Alton.
I'm so glad you brought that up because
there was loitering.
Thank you.
For 200 people deep in the street loitering, and you can go, well, where are the police? You tell me how 4 cops are going to take on a group of 200 people loitering and breaking code and breaking the law in the street. It's not going to happen. It's going to turn into a nightmare for everybody involved. They're completely under-resourced when it comes to how to handle those situations. So all you can do is contain. All you can do is just observe and wait to see what happens, because the moment you do, that's when chaos ensues. But to sit there and say, well, Poor Decisions, you're in the same group of category as the bar that's been here for 4 years longer than you were 2 years longer. These problems were before you signed on. These problems were before you even wanted to open a business in Alton. And it's not a favoritism or a pick and sides thing. It's just looking out the window and being honest about what we see.
November. #November. Nobody knows what that means, but that's going to come later down the pipeline. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but you just shared some breaking news with me because it's available to you on Facebook. Can I just say it on there, what you just told me? Or not yet?
I mean, we can. I don't know if it has to do with this, so I don't want it to say.
Well, in a way, I feel like it does. Because I think that post is enough is enough. And listen, so we won't bring it up. When you want to open up a business, matter of fact, I had a restaurant in there. Both restaurants were in there. Chonice, I love you, girl. When she spoke, you take everyday common folk like ourselves, and you have this vision, and I'm going to use an analogy here in a second. She just wanted the town to taste her cooking, okay?
Yeah.
God bless. Not only has the town tasted her cooking, she's been doing so well, she's looking to branch out already. That's what happens when you take somebody who has a dream and they pursue that dream. And I'm so proud to say that Poor Decisions and Beyond Taste was able to do that. But when you bring up food,
I'm going to go ahead and jump in with this. Just breaking a couple of minutes we're about an hour ago. It looks like from Tarrant and Harmon that Firehouse, which is right next to you guys, or between you and Don and Penny's, they just went on the market, and that's something that I wasn't expecting.
But that's why I wanted to bring that up. So I can't say it's a direct deal, but you have to. And again, I try to speak only facts. But man, with what's going on with downtown Alton, I'm gonna tell you right now. Hey, you all want to get rid of me? That's real simple. Just buy me out, Mayor. Okay, I'll move out of your town if you don't want me. But when I say that, I will leave this office after this interview. I would love to come to your office. You know what I would love to do? Let's have a powwow, not a personal powwow, but how can we do better? I know I'm just Brian Trust. I'm not an official. I don't want to do anything with politics, but can I just ask to borrow your ear? And what I'm trying to get at is the people, okay? I don't know if I sucked in high school, okay? I was a senior three times, okay? But the reality is this, you know the one thing I remember out of high school? We the people. And that's what Stand Up Alton's about. It's about we the people.
Well, you're right, because it's become more than, it's not about a liquor license. It really isn't. Because
I'm
listen,
past
1 to
that
3,
now.
whatever it happens.
I'm past that.
I get it. But the problem is,
Except for my employees.
yeah, no, I get that. 100% I understand where you're going with your employees. But on the flip side of that, though, for all the people that are scared to go downtown and patronize, and it's a thing that we've been hiding away from. It's a thing that people don't talk about because it's a faux pas thing to talk about because it's a bad thing and negative. But you can see it. By 7 p.m., the crowd that shows up at 4, they're done. They are not staying past 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night. It becomes a ghost town for about a half hour, and then it's jammed up and full of loiterers. They don't come into bars. They don't patronize. I can't say they all don't, but most of them don't. Most of them have handles of alcohol in their car or have fifths, and because I know it because I run over them with my tires every day in the RiverBender parking lot, and it's not a bar owner's responsibility to go somebody who's not going in and spending at their bar and being a customer, going out to a random parking lot and going, hey, guys, you need to tone it down here. That's not your responsibility.
No,
it's not any bar owner's
and
responsibility.
what I shared about that is people, city council, understand the risk we're at. We have to carry insurance. So a lot of times when things happen in these wee hours, where were they at last? Okay, well, here's the deal. They got drunk in the streets, right?
Yeah.
But then they came in to have a shot with their buddy. That's the last place they were left. And that's, that's unfair for us business owners. So I have some ideas, but even better yet, Chief Ford, if you're listening, I love you. I know he loves the city of Alton. I recently seen where they're going to come out with something that there's something in motion. But let me make this clear, and you said it, and I appreciate you saying it. Folks, when I speak to you, it's not necessarily about poor decisions, because the stuff we're talking about today was before we even open. And can I use my quick food analogy?
Yeah.
Chonice, I want your wings when I say this. I resonate with food. Okay, you see it. So here's my analogy to all you food lovers. The city council is your favorite dish, right? But each person who serves on city council is an ingredient. Now, at the end of your 5 minutes, when you speak up and you taste that food, was it delicious? Because if it was, you were heard, okay? If it wasn't delicious, we need to get rid of that ingredient.
Now, how many follow-ups have you had? Not now, not the last 2 weeks with this hearing, but when you first started speaking at City Council, and you were, because this has been going on for over a year now of trying to get like the liquor license and everything going. Did you hear back right away from these aldermen, or did it take you kind of honking your own horn to kind of say, hey, listen to me?
Unfortunately, honking your own horn. Exactly. But listen, that's kind of what Stand Up Alton is about, is if you guys read my original statement, this is just a personal journey of what I'm going through my business. So it's in my opinion, and I prefer only to speak factual data. And what it says is we have been forced to learn new things to protect our bar. Yeah. I just want to share those resources. So I'm glad you brought up city council. I did go to city council the first time. And again, as a normal person, I didn't know what to expect.
Right.
So a lot of times you get that 5 minutes and you speak to the city council. Let me just make this clear. You don't get an answer, okay?
Right.
I'm not saying it's bad.
Well, it's just not how the process works.
The second time I spoke, I was a little bit more fed up because there's no 101 guidebook on what happens when you go to a city council, you know? So let me just make that clear. First of all, for the people who make comments on how things can do better, I value and I appreciate those comments. But I'm asking you, as people, we can do better. Go to city council, express that, and in return, all I ask the city council do, turn your phone down, and look up and respect that person as an individual, because you know what they did? They took time out of their day.
Yeah.
To make a statement. And that's what we the people are. Well, where mayor, when I walk in your office, it says first black mayor. Congratulations. But what I focus on more is you took an oath. You took an oath for the city. That's white, black, male, female, rich, broke. Listen, I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody about somebody who saved me. And when I bring that nobody up, first of all, that's me serving for the Lord. But as a nobody, I'm willing to be a voice and I'm willing to be an advocate that, Mayor, if I have an idea and you don't like it, just say it. Do you owe me the time of day? Absolutely not. But I'm one of the people, we the people, who want to put Alton, not just downtown Alton. Alton deserves to be on the map. There's so much history here.
Well, and there's so many ways to go about it. And I think that collaborating, instead of, starting a proverbial match, so to speak, to one up each other, I don't want that. No, I think it's so much better this way. And, I think the honesty of it is very important too, because listen, Alton's been a diverse community for a long time, from Dago Hill all the way down to, the last 100 years to go through the history of the different neighborhoods. And, when you're downtown, you see all the walks of life coming together and you see everybody having fun. But what the problem is, whenever you see a young group of people that are experiencing what Brian Trust experienced when you were 21, whenever my parents or whoever that was generations before us experienced that heart of downtown where it was fun, full of life, you had something to look forward to on the weekends with your friends to go do, you don't. Right now, you don't.
Well, the key word is life at this point, because you said enjoy it, but right now people are feared of it.
They are. They're completely afraid. And it's one of those things where you can say, CJ, you're just agreeing. I'm not agreeing. Listen, it's not about agreeing on the liquor decision, because I have no say in the matter. I don't know if that's going to be the fix. I don't know if it's going to make it worse. All I can tell you is that these problems have been here a lot longer than you guys have been in business.
Appreciate that.
And they've been here for about 4 years now. And it's time to take accountability and say, and I don't know if that's calling Madison County and saying we need additional resources downtown on the weekends until we can figure this out. But if you look at the license plates, none of them say Illinois. None of them say Illinois. They're all from Missouri. At least 55% of the cars are from Missouri. So it's not like it's the citizens of Alton that are causing these problems either. And I think that that's another big notion to make. Some of them are. Some of them are our citizens. But most of the time when it comes to the loitering and all the fighting and everything else, it's very rarely somebody that has an Illinois plate.
So, when you speak of tragedy, tragedies happen outside of bars.
Yeah, they do.
They do. They're situations. Some of them are premeditated and some are in the moment. All I'm saying is, if you cut this interview short, all I want to say is we could do better. Okay? And when I say we can do better, I'm not talking about a title. This is not me singling anybody out.
You weren't calling for anybody to quit their jobs. You're not.
No. Matter of fact, with the news.
Yeah.
What if that was his dream?
Yeah.
And now he's selling, and again, this is me talking, because I'm going to tell you right now, Stacy and I would sell right now.
Yeah.
We didn't ask for this. My wife and I invested in Stacy because it was a dream for her. She's been serving as a bartender and a bar manager in the area for 20 plus years. And you know what she did? She did what a lot of us want to do. I'm tired of working for the man. I want to do it for myself. Because Stacy, your kids are amazing. And that's one of the huge things, watching a single parent raise 4 kids. And these 4 kids, they're beautiful. I got goosebumps. They're beautiful. So my wife and I, we invested in her dream. Nobody asked to live out your dream and it become a nightmare.
Yeah.
Man, I don't think I've ever got teary-eyed. Folks, it's real. So if he's selling, is that the economy that we want in downtown Alton, that people are frustrated and they want to move out? And it's not even just the businesses. You have people who live in apartments, and you know what they wake up to? Not their alarm clock.
Yeah.
They wake up to 911 first responders of what's going on the streets. So did I come on the show to tell you that I have the answers? No, that's not what I did. I want to stand up for the people, and the people is us common folks. It's the city council. It's the mayor. Listen, I have reached out numerous times to meet with the mayor. He doesn't owe me anything, okay? But why can't we all work together?
Well, and I think that's why, we're going to take a break and come back and talk a little bit more.
So
but the biggest thing is this went from, being angry about the license to understanding and going, you know what, but let's raise awareness for what we're going through. And I think that, so many people, whether or not you agree or disagree with the liquor commissioner's stance on if your license gets pulled, the late liquor one does, and, the other ones do as well. It doesn't have to deal, you aren't really accepting yes or no to the liquor license or the suspension or revoking of it. What you're doing is you're saying yes and no to, we need to have a conversation about, is the bar really the problem in downtown, or is it somebody else? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's really important, too, for the public to know about.
Amen.
We'll take a quick break. It's 10:03. We'll wrap up with Brian, and then we'll come back with more Daily Show. Right after this, you stay there, and I'll be here on RiverBender and Roku.
Rock history hits the riverfront as multi-platinum powerhouse Puddle of Mud takes the stage. Hear fan favorites like She Hates Me and Psycho. Plus brand new tracks from their latest album. Get your tickets now, on sale through Metro Tips. Puddle of Mud, August 2nd at the Alton Amphitheater. Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
This July, the fastest boats in the world take over the Mississippi. Catch the thrill of F1 powerboat racing July 18 to 20 at Riverfront Park in Alton, Illinois. Speed, rivals, champions. This is more than a race. It's the Midwest National. Kicking off with the Meet and Greet Street Party July 18th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at Max and downtown Alton. Cold beer and live music. Alton Midwest Nationals F1 powerboat racing July 18th to the 20th. Don't miss the action.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back. Brian Truss back in studio. So, at this point in time, you're playing the waiting game for this late liquor license. And do you foresee, anything out? Are you going to just kind of deal with it and see what happens? What's the plan for if you're told, hey, we're pulling this?
So to be clear again, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
I'm okay if we get it or if we don't, but I'm not okay with it for my employees.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I received a text from one of my employees because we're on standby, emotions fly.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like if you have a significant other that you communicate with all the time,
Yeah.
and that significant other isn't communicating with you.
Yeah.
What's the normal thing? Your mind wanders, right?
Right.
So unfortunately, my employees' minds are wandering so bad that one of them was expressing disappointment with me yesterday because she overheard how things are going to change, and if they change, that takes her out.
Mm-hmm.
That takes her out of her shifts. That's her livelihood.
Right.
So right now, we're kind of have internal wigging out because of the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult because on Monday when we did our hearing, the financials spoke for themselves.
Yeah.
We do amazing from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. Matter of fact, we actually struggle during the day. So I would say on behalf of my employees, yes, it's a big deal for them. It's a big deal for me. But going back to that original question you asked me, listen, so many comments, and by the way, this is not hearsay because they're all over my page. So many comments said that the mayor promised, per their words, that January 1st, 2025, all late liquor licenses will be revoked. Again, I stand by it. If that's one of the things that they think is going to change what's going on, I personally don't think it's going to.
No.
In my opinion, again, I want to be careful.
Yeah.
But man, I was going at it with somewhere. I said 1 to 3, the late liquor. Oh, anyways, the point is this: I wouldn't even be here on the show if it was all.
Yeah.
It's not all. And the reality is this: is if you're a business owner and you get shut down at 1, but you watch all that revenue go somewhere else for the next 2 hours. Don't tell me anybody listening right now would not be upset.
Right.
So what's fair for one is fair for all, period.
So the question is if this gets polled today or tomorrow, you'll find out via letter. Do you stay open?
Till 1.
Yeah. So you're not. So it's not the end all be all. Just for
No,
public
so
that's kind of
so we're still
about that.
operating. It's not like he's shutting us
Yeah.
down.
Right. Just to clarify for the
right,
public.
it's just a late liquor license. I don't want to go into my other thoughts and my other feelings right now because that's not the purpose of
right.
of the
Right.
show.
No, it's not.
It's just a reminder though on that topic that those things were taking place prior
Well, it needs to be stressed
to be open.
Well, and I think that anybody that's been in downtown or within the district not only should but does understand that because we've all lived it, and it's not. It's one of those things where it became a normality. Because of just the frequency of they became almost somewhat block parties downtown.
Well, I was just going to bring that up to you, and you'll probably know better than I do. So when you answer, you could be in your opinion because now I feel like I'm running the show.
Okay.
But when we had block parties going on, I don't know of crime. Again, what I'm saying is, was it bad? In other words,
it was the cleanup issue.
okay,
was a
so
lot
cleanup
of it.
issue. But when you had the block parties, were you having the issues that we're having now? Because I don't know. I'm
Right, and I don't. Well, you weren't having loitering, I don't think, but there were still issues. But the bottom line is, if you clean up the mess that you have now with the 400, 300 people that are in the street from midnight or 10 o'clock at night or 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. is when it starts to 1 or 2 in the morning, then you can start talking about doing the block parties again, and you can start talking about doing these community-wide events again. But when you have a group of individuals that every weekend, and it's a different group every time because it's a party group and they all change, but they come over, they sit in parking lots that steal patrons' parking spots, so they got to walk even further. They are completely taking up the street. I know somebody that tried to get into a building to work and almost got beat up by a group of individuals because of just walking through the crowd trying to get to work.
I've heard.
So, in my opinion, you have to figure this out first. And I don't think, I don't know what that solution is, but, block parties, yeah, things happen. But when you have activities downtown, when you have those spaces utilized, no one can go use them themselves. So why don't you try to do more community-wide
I bring that up
events?
from
I get what you're saying.
economic revenue.
Yeah.
So we're starving.
Yeah.
We're starving because people are feared. Okay.
Yeah.
And again, that was prior to us. But I just want to throw it out there. St. Patrick's Day,
Huge.
best day we ever had. And it wasn't so much when I say best day ever had from a financial perspective, which it was.
Right.
But man, I go back and I look through the pictures that I took. Every walk of life.
Yeah.
And different cultures and different ages, and everybody was glowing, and the downtown district was earning money, and the people. I mean, look at the joy that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I see again as a traveling baseball coach. What do you think us parents do? We look forward to watching our kids play and dominate, but then Saturday night, it's time for the grown folks. And how cool is it that sometimes when we go out, there's some spots that we go to, you park the car, you bar hop, the boutiques, Branson, Nashville, and this is what's driving me nuts. Alton, downtown Alton, you're right across the river, the gateway to bringing people to the community.
Yeah.
Man, let's get back on the map, yo, and not for the wrong reasons.
Right. No, I agree. And I completely agree with you. And then, that video that surfaced the last couple of days of the individual shooting his gun off at a group of people right on State Street. I don't know if you saw that video from the Aces page.
Unfortunately, I did. And mind you, if I stand correct, that didn't happen at 3:01 a.m.
Okay.
So for the late liquor licenses, okay, at the end of the day, in my opinion, it's not a matter of about the time.
It's not.
I think that took place right after 1 a.m. Now, again.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
So I get it. If I was a resident, would I get 2 hours more sleep? What would it be, or what would it look like, right? So again, when I say I love Chief Ford, I do, because I've had talks with him directly, and I know
it's a tough job.
It's a tough job. So I'm not here to point fingers. The only thing that I might have said that may have offended the police or the mayor is what I would like to believe us common folks know. If you cannot have open containers out in public, right?
Yeah.
If you cannot be smoking weed out in public, all I'm asking is, why are we not enforcing it? Now, again, I don't want to be wrong, because I understand 300 for, the math isn't there. But the more we let it go, get away with it,
right,
the easier for the bigger crowds to congregate, because there's nothing. Now, again, let me say this. I honor the police. I'll be the first person to say that. I am so proud of the police. But people, this is what I'm saying we could do better. If you have an idea, it's not like they're not going to listen to you, because you get the opportunity to speak. So use the resources that are available to you. Listen, Facebook's good and your opinions are good. Sometimes you got keyboard warriors thinking they got all the answers. Well, here's the deal. I'm calling out the regular folks, the keyboard warriors. You have an opportunity to speak. Sign up for city council. Give them 5 minutes. Even if your idea doesn't get implemented, here's the reality. You got heard.
Yeah.
Okay. So don't feel that your voice and being an advocate is not there, that nobody's listening. Yeah. You can't tell your great ideas to small-minded people and go nowhere. Take those great ideas, grab the mic, speak to your city, and I always say this on my show. What is your superpower?
Yeah.
What if your voice is the one key factor that can make a difference? So I encourage you to speak up.
Well, and I agree with that too. I think that until there's an organized effort, to say, hey, there's an issue here, we're upset, it's not going to get any better. And to go back to that, and I just want to touch on that real quick, because it's not on the 1 or 2 officers or 3 that are downtown. It's an under resourced area for the amount of people that are there. So, and I don't know what the answer is. I'm not a police chief. I'm not
I couldn't imagine the pressure.
I don't know what that looks like, but I do know that there's got to be. It was before your bar was in town.
Period.
It was before that. There's got to be a conversation on what resources, or how can we find the resources for them, because it's not fair and it's not safe for those officers who are already working their butts off to go into a group like that. Whether it's 100 or 200. Or 300. And anyone that's been in downtown Alton on a Friday night can go, wow, it's every bit of 100 to 200 people. You got to find resources for them. So I hope that that's the case, and that's just what I wanted to clarify on my end of things, is that it's not an issue on one person's fault.
No,
we're here now.
It's going to take a community.
We got to solve it.
Takes a village.
Yeah, we got to solve it. It's just too much crime and violence going on throughout the entire city and downtown, which is our main incubator of business and growth. We got to fix that too. And so it's his fault. It's not the mayor's fault. It's not anybody's specific problem. It's a group effort. A group gets you there, whether it's good or bad, and it's going to be a group that gets you out of it too.
Amen. And again, before you kick me out here, I just want to say one thing. City council, when you chose to be elected on city council, you had a vision. You knew that the city that you were going to represent to be a beautiful place, a better work atmosphere for all above. The only thing that I ask, and I'm not going to say any names, You know what? I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not going to do it. All I ask is, can we all do better?
And so with that being said, it's been great. Thank you for giving me the conversation afterwards. I know you had literally every media company out there and individual wanting to know your story. So to be with you for the last year talking about poor decisions and knowing the fight that you kind of went through to get some of the things that you got, and now to hear this now, I think it's a good thing for people to listen to, because it's not a couple of words in a headline. It's your story coming from you, and it's not a derogatory one. It's just one that's that's just stating this journey that you've been on and what you're going through now and how you're gonna figure it out.
Even with today's current situations, look at that as the rearview mirror, right? These things that are going on, what we spoke about a minute ago, is the past.
Yeah.
Let's focus on the windshield.
Yeah.
The windshield's bigger. There's brighter days ahead. So no finger pointing. When I end this conversation with you, I ask the people, the city council, the elected officials, the police. We can do better.
Yeah. I agree with you. Brian, thank you so much for stopping by, man. Always a pleasure talking to you. Best of luck with everything in the next 24 hours. Let us know how it goes.
Appreciate that.
We'll take a quick break.
Appreciate
10:18 is the time on this Friday morning. We're going to come back and talk all things Legion baseball. State tournament coming down the pipeline. You'll hear more next.